What's going on? Isaiah with Campo Vans here, standing in front of a 170 Extended we just finished up. This thing is perfect for long-term travel, tons of storage, super cozy inside. This thing's awesome. Let's check it out. All right, taking a look at the exterior of this van, it's really got all the goodies you'd want. Out back, we do have a couple Alvans products, that B2 carrying the one-up racks. Perfect if you want to park on the outskirts of town, bike in, get those experiences. You can have your bikes on there. It's always good to have multiple modes of transportation when you're doing van life. Over here we do have spare tire carrier. As you can see, this is just a stock spare, but the reason we've got it up here is because we do have a gray water tank up in that same area. We love putting the gray water tanks in those spare tire carriers just because it's, a great use of space. Up top, a luminous roof rack. That's going to be carrying all of our solar. It's a great product. There's also plenty of room to walk around on up there if you are somewhere you want to take in the view or something like that. Up front, we got that big aluminous bumper. Primarily, this is just to make sure that an impact with the deer won't cause any crazy damage, and that's what you get out of this thing. Tons of coverage. And then down on the sides here, we got those Alvans side steps. So we really like these. Put them on tons of vans, and they always hold up great. All right, so now sitting in one of the little dining areas here up at the front of the van, you can see how many different spaces there are in this van. That's something we got with the 170 Extended that we were happy with. Ton of different rooms, if you will, so it makes living in this thing a lot easier. This seat next to me swivels as well, and there's another lagoon table there that comes down to create a seating area for this seat here. Moving forward, we've got a couple different refrigerator options. So under here is going to be the freezer. So this one's set to -3. And then over here we have the fridge. So little long-term food storage, you're kind of getting the theme. Moving up, we've got a nice air fryer. It says a Toshiba air fryer microwave. So all your cooking needs in there. We can also, of course, run induction on this if you so choose. Moving over onto this side, we have a ton of storage. So this is just a big closet. Nice sliders. Top and bottom. This one can house hanging clothing, and then a ton of drawers. So that's kind of all your clothing there, everything you're gonna need. You might have to minimalize a little bit, but small price to pay. Obviously, we got this big Silvox TV. So one thing that's really cool about this that I was really excited to see is this is actually a 12-volt TV and 12-volt sound bar. So we're not gonna have to run the inverter to run this thing. And then if you are hoping to watch, Netflix, do whatever, stream, we do have Starlink capabilities in this van. So you're really good to go anywhere. It is really a house on wheels. Of course, we got that Ruvati sink. We love this thing. It's a little lower, so we actually change height with the floor. It's kind of a unique feature and allows for the TV to clear there. A couple more drawers. Heavy duty here. This can act as a step for getting into the bed, which is right above you there. And that about does it for the galley. All right, so I've gone over a couple different systems. We got the fridge, freezer, we've got the air fryer, we've got the TV. You might be wondering how we're running all this stuff. In this van, we've got a 10 kilowatt EcoFlow power kit system, so plenty to run all these different bits and bobs. Up on the roof, we also have 480 watts of solar. Of course, there is shore power built into that system, so you can plug in if you're at a campground or something like that. And it also charges while you're driving. So we've got all three there. Trying to do our best to keep this thing charged, but while you are sitting, you have no problem running the Starlink, running the TV, running all the lighting, fridge, freezer. So this is a super off-grid capable build. Along with power, we do have 30 gallons of fresh water on board. That can be heated with the Rixson system, which will also do the hot air. We also have plenty of gray water underneath the shower and underneath the sink here. Alrighty, well now we're over in the living room. This is one of my favorite areas of this build just because it is such a nice place to be. Regardless of where you are, you're in town at a truck stop or something on your way somewhere, you need to pull off. It's dumping rain outside, you're still nice and warm and cozy in here. The lower ceiling's actually quite nice for that little cocoon vibe, and that comes out of our elevator bed that's up top. I'll show you that in a minute. There's easily seating for 4 to 6 down here, and we actually could sleep 4 in this van, no problem. And I'll show you that with these bottom benches here. So there you go. We have a nice lower bed here, converted down from our benches. This is obviously a secondary sleeping situation, so if you do have guests, there is a place to crash down here. Maybe it'll never get used, but if you need it, you'll have it, which is what matters. All right, so as I mentioned, this bed not only has the lower futon setup, but also an upper elevator bed. So cool thing about this is you can put it any height you want. If you do have 4 people sleeping in here, I'd probably put it somewhere around there, up top and down below. You can go even further down if you're just the single, or if you're just the double. So you have a nice big sleeping platform up here that is totally stowable. Super solid. Doesn't, you just lower it to where you want it and you're all good to go. All right, we've checked out the kitchen, we've checked out the living room, we've seen the bedroom. Now we've got the bathroom. So whole back of this van taken up by an awesome wet bath. Love how this came out. There's tons of room. It's super livable. First thing you're going to see obviously is a nice floor to ceiling mirror. I mean, how many vans have that? So that's a sweet feature. And then really nice little vanity here. So nice sink, hot cold water. All your controls are in here, all that, because we do have a little Nautilus door to close all that up when you are showering. So it's nice to just have a zone that isn't just going to get soaked all the time. Nice shower here. Again, hot, cold, no problem. Little teak plate here to stand on, so that's nice to keep your feet out of the water all the time. This does drain into a 30-gallon gray water tank right underneath. No problem there. We even fitted it with a transfer pump, so it's actually going to pull that water out of the shower into the tank. Sometimes with vans like this, you do have some issues with slow drain because the tank is so close to the shower. So we went ahead and added one of those. Alrighty, so you might notice 2 toilets. So the reason being is the client opted to go for 2 to kind of solve one of the issues that comes with the Laveo dry flush. The Laveo dry flush, every flush is a cartridge, so that that's a couple bucks, and you have to replace all those. So we don't like wasting that on number 1. It's great for number 2, but what we've done is just done the Thetford cassette toilet for number 1, and then keeping the Laveo for number 2. So we kind of have the best of both worlds here, and we have the space with this 170 extended, so we decided to go for it on that. So last but not least, the garage. Gotta have it. Nice little creative storage options here in the back doors. A couple more down below. Right over here we got the ladder. You can see there's no ladder on the exterior of this van. We wanted to go with one that is deployable just so that you don't have people messing with your roof. Over here, nice tall storage for whatever you need to put back here. Hey, maybe it's a beach umbrella, beach chairs, whatever. Obviously that's where we've got some recovery gear, all sorts of like camper specific stuff, shore power, all that. And that about does it. Nice view through the van here. It feels a heck of a lot bigger than it really is when you're on the inside. Really great way to have a full liveaboard while still being in a van package and still being able to navigate downtown roads. Thanks for checking this out with me. We'll see you on the next one.